bit windy today, but I also have to be a little more quiet because there are people on the opposite side of my house. They're outside and I don't want to disturb them. But I wanted you to look at the player of the match for today, Rigoberto Sanchez. Best punt I've seen in a while. That last punt to pin him at the 3 and to win the game, basically. I like what you did there, man. I've always said Rigo's been one of the best punters in the league, but today gives another shining example of why he is. Just gonna swipe. Colts win 20-17, way closer than I would have liked. And a lot of conspiracy with this game. I can't even lie. But a win is a win. A win is a win. Yes, it's against the Titans. Yes, we only won by 3 points. Yes, the refs were terrible, but a win is a win. A win is a win. And that's all I have to say. But Colts win 20-17 off of a late game touchdown catch by Michael Pittman Jr., who also basically won us the game. He owns Snead now. Michael Pittman Jr. is Snead's owner and will be until further notice. Head tapped him on one play and then just bullied him and got the ball from him on another play to give us a crucial first down to basically win us the game, as they only had like 22 seconds when we punted it. And again, Rigo masterclass punt. That gave us the win. But Michael Pittman Jr., even though his stat sheet will not look the best when we go look at it, he was a very important part of the day. But Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is not beating the backup quarterback allegations with this one. He did not play good today. And I will stand on this that he did not play good today. He threw 22 for 38, 189, 2 touchdowns, and one of the worst picks I've ever seen. Worse than any of Anthony Richardson's picks, and he's thrown 6 this year. He just oversailed the guy, threw it straight to the guy. Easiest pick I've ever seen at a Titans player in my life. Treylon Burks got it. No, that's a touchdown. Sorry. Hooker got it. So, congrats on him for having the easiest pick of his life. But Joe Flacco did not play good today. And there was 2 drives specifically that he could have blown the game for us. At the end there, we got a pick off of Julian Blackmon, which, clutch. He missed. He like bobbled one and dropped a pick earlier. That would have saved 3 points off the Titans stat sheet. But he got that pick. Of course, we didn't do anything with it because this dude Flacco decides to throw 2 deep balls and overthrows both of them. And we have to punt it back again. Of course, we get to stop, and then we get it back. I didn't like throwing there, but, it's Pittman. I understand. So, the Colts go out early, score a touchdown on their first drive. It seems like they do that every single year. Every single game of the year, for some reason. They always go down and score a touchdown and then just become anemic right after. But Tennessee also goes down and scores a touchdown. Then both teams exchange field goals in the second. In the third, Tennessee takes the lead with a touchdown pass. Of course, that would be their last score of the game, as Indianapolis would score a field goal, which I like the call. I saw some people saying that they didn't like the field goal call, but obviously it won us the game, so don't be mad at them. And then, of course, the Pittman touchdown to win the game for us. Sorry about that. I actually want to move somewhere else. I want to go to the refs. You can see that it was not fair at all, and I'm not even going to try to hide it. I'm not even going to earlier I was playing the refs have been bad on both sides argument, and they missed a clear pass interference that would have gave them the first down. I can't deny that. The refs honestly bailed us. Unfortunate to say, because we've been on the side of getting bailed, the other team getting bailed a lot of times against us. So I don't like to see when we get bailed by the refs. And, I'm man enough to admit that we very much did get bailed by the refs today. But like I said, a win is a win. You play with what you play. And if I was a Titans fan, I'd be fuming right now, and I totally understand you, because if the Titans got the same no calls as we got, I would be fuming right now. I was fuming last year at the Browns game. I'd be fuming at this game. So while I do admit that should have been pass interference on many different occasions, and that we kind of got bailed by the refs, again, a win is a win, unfortunately. I just don't like that the refs have this much power in a game where the Titans likely would have won if we didn't get bailed by the refs, obviously. But I'll take it. Anyway, back to regularly scheduled programming. We will now proceed to the stats. Like I said, Joe Flacco, 22 for 38, 189, 2 touchdowns and interception. And I like Joe Flacco, but Anthony Richardson's the starter. He should have started today, let's be honest with ourselves. And Joe Flacco almost ruined the game for the Colts, and I would have also been fuming if we lost this game because Joe Flacco can't make a pass. But again, he's an amazing backup. But he's not our starter. Strong wind. Tyler Goodson stepped it up for today, even though Trey Sermon got most of the carries. Goodson caught 8 for 51, and he averaged 6.4 yards per carry. While Sermon ran 18 times for only 29 yards and 1.6 yards a carry. Joe Flacco ran once for 1 yard. That was funny. And Josh Downs ran once for negative 1 yards. But Josh Downs did make it up in receiving, as he led the score sheet on the day. 1 touchdown, obviously, and 7 catches for 66 yards. He averaged 9.2 per play. Molly Cox, best tight end of the day, caught 4 balls for 41 yards with an average of 10.2. Pittman, again, not the best stat sheet in the world, but he had 2 clutch grabs, both on Snead's head. Well, the one that sealed the game wasn't on Snead's head, but he kind of ripped the ball from him. And the other one was on Snead's head for the touchdown. Only caught 3 for 35 in a touchdown, but I recognize what he did. Ogletree caught 2 balls for 24 yards. Goodson caught 4 balls for 14 yards. Can actually catch now. Mitchell, another quiet day, unfortunately, caught 2 balls for 9 yards. Doolin, Granson, Mallory, and Pierce was targeted, but did not catch a ball. Now, Pierce had a huge game last week where he got like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or should have had 2 touchdowns. I think he only had 1. And I'd have to go check. But Pierce was targeted multiple times and multiple deep balls. 2 of them were overthrows. 1 of them was a crucial pass interference. Again, you can argue the pass interference there, but from what I saw, the guy was clearly holding his hand back. So that one was a bit fair from the refs, even though they were bad a lot of times. I'm pretty sure that led to the game-winning touchdown. So good on Pierce for foul baiting at least, even if you don't get to catch balls. For our defense, Zaire Franklin had the most tackles on the day, 8 tackles and 1 assisted tackle. Like I said earlier, Julian Blackmon, our only pick on the day, also at 3 tackles. And again, very worrying, no sacks. Not 1 sack. And this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. We need to start putting up pressure. One of the things I didn't even mention was when the Titans went down and scored a touchdown, it was 3rd and 19. RB dive up the middle, gets 22 yards for the touchdown. You can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen. Combine that without getting any sacks on Will Levis, who, by the way, we'll get to that. The part where he blew up a guy's leg, because it's Will Levis. He clip farms, as they say. But good to see Kenny Moore back out there. Didn't do a lot today, but good to see him out, obviously. Latu, our rookie, had 2 tackles. And Doolin and Sermon. apparently played on defense today. That's cool. I don't know. Goodson had one kick return for 27 yards. Downs, who was good on, catching the ball, also had a pretty good day on punt returns. He had 4 returns for 67 yards. All of his returns went for over 10, 15 yards. So respect to him. He's a pretty good punt returner. Like I said, the wind was pretty strong. Matt Gay. Now, he kicked short today, mostly, but I like to see him get a perfect stat sheet. It's going to bring up his confidence. He went 2 for 2. He got 8 points on the day, and you like to see it. Now, of course, when it comes to long kicks, can he make those? We'll see. We hope. But Matt Gay, respect to the perfect field goal punting. And then punting, Sanchez, like I said, iced the game basically with an amazing punt. And he also punted 4 other times, obviously. Punted 5 times for 271 yards, and he was inside the 20 for 3 times. Now on to the Titans. Will Levis, 16 for 27, 95 yards. 1 touchdown and 1... I gotta take a picture of this. One of my friends is a Titans fan. I gotta send him that. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Will Levis is not good, man. I know he almost won the game, but he's not good. You've seen him every single week make some goofy play. When he had his knees to the ground, hands up, dude keeps flying up in the air. One of his plays today, like I mentioned earlier, the dude gets lightly pushed, flops all around in the air on the end zone, and rams into one of the sideline guys and blows off his ACL. I don't know if it was actually his ACL, but he blew his leg, and the guy has to have surgery. Now, of course, prayers up for him. Obviously, I don't wish anyone being injured, but the broadcast said he was in high spirits, so at least he's okay, even though he's gonna need surgery. But Will Levis, man, come on. He also had another play where you can't shoot, make a shooting reference. So the dude shoots spider webs out of his hands after the touchdown. Look, he's funny. I admit that as a Colts fan. Of course, it's not funny that he basically blew a guy's leg off. But he's funny, but he's not a good QB. The Titans need to realize that. The rushing on the day was good, though. Tony Pollard had 17 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. One of the worst defenses in the league. We have it. We can't stop anything, obviously. One of those were the 22-yard rushes on 3rd and 19 for a touchdown. But, Tony Pollard's good, so I respect that. Tajay Spears also ran 6 times for 27 yards. Will Levis ran 3 times for 15 yards. Ridley ran once for 9. And Chestnut ran once for 2 yards. Now, for receiving, you would expect with a terrible Colts secondary, you should be able to dot up. And the fact that Will Levis didn't do that kind of shows you that he's not good. DeAndre Hopkins did have the most catches on the day, 4 catches for 54 yards. Tyler Boyd had 3 catches for 19 yards. Treylon Burks, the guy that apparently caught, the interception. I don't know what I was saying there. He caught 1 ball for 10 yards. Westbrook caught 1 ball for 9 yards. The sole touchdown on the day for the Titans. Passing game, Okonkwo caught 3 for 6. Wiley caught 1 for 2. And Ridley was targeted and he didn't catch any balls. But Tony Pollard caught 3 balls for -5 yards. So good job on him. L'Jarius Sneed did have the most tackles on the day. But like I said, Michael Pittman owns the guy. So I'm not worried. Hooker, again, he got the pick on Joe Flacco. I don't think they got any sacks. No. If you're a fan of sacks, you would not be a fan of this game because there were no sacks on either side. So that says a lot about... That either says a lot about the O-lines of the game or the D-lines of the game, and I don't know which one it is. No kick returns for the Titans. Jackson had 2 punt returns for 9 yards. Folk only kicked 1 field goal, but he wasn't perfect on the day. Long was 44. He made 5 points. And Stonehouse put in 5 times for 289 yards, but none of those were inside the 20. So Rigoberto is better. But onto the Steam stats. We had a tad bit more yards on them, 269 to 241, but that's because we owned them on the pass on the day, 189 to 95. Rushing yards, don't have Jonathan Taylor. Our rushing game's not good, 80 to 146. We had 4.1 yards per play, while they had 4.4 yards. We had more first downs, and we were better on the third down, 20 to 16 and 7 to 15 to 4 and 11. We were both perfect on fourth downs on the day, 1 for each. We had 11 more plays than them. Neither team allowed a sack. Both teams had 5 punts. Like I said, the refs were horrible and biased for us, unfortunately. We only had 5 penalties. They had 11 for 113 yards. No fumbles on the day, but 2 interceptions were thrown, one by either side. And I think I would have hoped that we would have won the time of possession battle. But for the first time, I think for the year, it's basically 30-30. So that's what you want to see. You don't want to have their offense out for 40 minutes and draining out the defense while our offense only gets like 15-20 minutes to do what it needs to do. So I like to see that. Again, this really is honestly the battle of mid right now with all of our injuries. So it really was a mid-off. But to go to the standings, we are second in the division, obviously, with a 3-3 record. Jaguars, unfortunately, only win is against us, but we were playing in Jacksonville. But the fact that we played Jacksonville close in Jacksonville kind of shows that they suck. But again, we can't win in Jacksonville, so they're 1-5. The Titans are 1-4, also not a good start. Colts are 3-3, basically on schedule to what I picked at the beginning of the season. I had 3-3, but I had us being the Packers and losing to the Titans today, while we lost to the Packers and beat the Titans today, which honestly is a better trade-off. I'd rather win a divisional game and lose a non-divisional game, not an NFC game to add on to that, while I would not rather lose a divisional game and then win an NFC game. But 500, 3-3, plus 0 or minus 0 point differential. The Texans are 5-1, which is not good. It's not good. We play them soon, so we're going to see which team can get the dub here. It's starting to become a big rivalry in the NFL with C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, so we like to see it. But that's not our next week. We play the Dolphins, and it really depends if the Dolphins still don't have Tua. If the Dolphins don't have Tua, I'd like our chances. Our defense is not good, and the running backs will likely play well. But let's be honest, any QB that suits up for the Dolphins that's not Tua is terrible. So, if Tua's not playing, I think we'd have a good chance on that, but don't count on me, because who knows at this point. And then the week after that, on October 27th, we play the Texans again, which is going to be a huge game. If we can win that, and the Texans drop a game, and we win the Dolphins game, we will be tied for the division, obviously. But, that has to rely on the Texans dropping a game, which I don't know if that's going to happen. They've looked amazing. And then after that, we go on to the surprisingly 5-0 Vikings. So, kind of scared for that game. I had it penciled in as an easy one. But anyway, that's all I have for today. See you guys next week for our next Colts video, and peace.